prospects in Japan, in India and in Japan, and the scope and the opportunity for higher studies in Japan. I will also discuss about the scholarships you can get to study in Japan. Also, the major collaboration with India and Japan to employ the resources who have Japanese language knowledge. As most of you know, the Indo-Japan relationship is touching new heights at present, and it is going to strengthen further as it is evident through different data. For example, Japan, as you know, is the 5th largest investor in Indian economy across the sectors. And Japan has become indispensable partner for India, and India and Japan have created a kind of synergy for mutual growth and prosperity. According to the 2022 data from JETRO, Japan External Trade and Research Organization, there are more than 1,400 Japanese companies right now operating in India with more than 5,000 establishments across India. And when it comes to Indian company in Japan, there are more than 100 Indian companies in Japan right now. There are several exchanges happening between the two countries at different levels. Why I am citing this data is because there is a huge scope and opportunities for the Japanese language learners in these Japanese companies in India and in Japan as well. When it comes to higher education, Japanese universities are a favorable destination for the Indian aspirants who dream to study abroad. This is because Japan has become a hub for higher education also. There are many Japanese universities which are leading in the world. Indian students can study there through scholarships because there are several scholarships provided and funded by Ministry of Japan, and you can avail those easily. Another factor I would like to cite, as a background, is that Japan, boasting as the 4th largest economy in the world, is actually facing a serious issue, which is aging population. Over 20% of Japanese population is more than 65 years old. That is the highest proportion of elderly people globally. According to a report, McKinsey report, Japan's working age population is projected to decrease from 79 million in 2012 to 71 million by 2025, while its dependency ratio will rise from 0.60 to 0.73 during the same period. Now, this demographic shift has contributed to insufficient number of workforce in Japan, and Japanese government, to address this urgency, has come up with several measures, and one of them is accepting foreign nationals, foreign employees in Japan who knows Japanese language and having some skills. I would like to highlight few such opportunities which are very much in demand and the scope trending these days in Japan and in India as well. So as a career opportunities for the Japanese language learner, there is a huge potential and a scope in India and in Japan. In India, as a bilingual, which is the highest in demand as a profession. So as a bilingual, you can work. When I say bilingual, it means interpreter or as a translator, you can work in Japan and in India as well. And the most prominent sectors are IT sectors, automobile sector, and pharma sector. You can work as an interpreter in these sectors in India. There is a rising demand of interpreters and translators, and the more number of Japanese companies are venturing into Indian market. So in that proportion, the demand is also getting higher. There are lots of work, as an interpreter and translator you need to do, apart from translating and interpreting language. Of course, you need to have a good command over language in both in English and in Japanese. So apart from that, there are lots of client communication required, to deliver services. You will be working as a bridge between these two countries, basically, and facilitate the dialogues between the two parties. It's a very exciting job, by the way. As a translator also you can work in Japanese forms, but you have to use AI tools and you have to add values to the AI tools on certain projects. You have the opportunity to work as a project manager, bilingual project manager, with the ability to add value such as you need to have good communication skills, where client communication is as a big role you have to discharge. Now presentation skills like sorting relevant data and presentable data and to present it before the client. Knowledge of AI tools like ChatGPT, etc. Coordination skills, team management skills. All these are the important skills you require. You need to have apart from a language. IT companies like NEC, IBM, Nissan Technologies, Fujitsu, TCS, Tech Mahindra, and many more companies are there to accept and hire these resources having knowledge of Japanese languages with some IT skills. In Japan also, Indian resources with Japanese language is in demand. There also you need to have some technical skills in relevant field. IT professionals with Japanese language is getting higher in demand in Japan. As an interpreter or translator, you can work in government offices such as Central Secretariat, official interpreter for government agencies, for several projects like Bulletin Project, Metro projects. There are several projects. You can teach Japanese language in India also. There are many schools, universities, institutions, private institutions are launching Japanese courses. You must be aware of it. There's a huge crunch of Japanese language trainers, by the way, currently, and you can cater to this.
To continue, the next speaker is Mr. Nagatoshi Shibata.